Hey, you guys. All right. So this is kind of like a little, I'm going to try this experiment. This is a bit of a behind the scenes extras video so that when we do get the RSS feed going, like what can I give you paid members as for being part of the Patreon? And so I'm going to try this out. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this anyway because this kind of connects with the main podcast from this week about the occult measurements and occult numbers and what all that means, specifically Pythagoras, who, if you watched that video or were listening to the podcast, um, is super weird. I mean, like super weird. And I'm kind of slightly fascinated by him, even though I absolutely hate math. Like, not in concept, I hate it. In execution, as in, I don't do well with it. So I personally have personal problems, but like, yeah, you get it. Anyway, moving on. So let me ask you, what do you get when a cult, a square, and a loudmouth philosopher walk into a theorem? Apparently, you get a body count. Today on what I'm calling a culture shock minis, we dig up the ancient scandal the math teachers don't want you to know, a man, a math cult, and a murder over the square root of 2. Of course, why not? Was it betrayal? Was it ego? Or did he just piss off the wrong triangle worshiper? Stick around for the hot, hot mess that is Pythagoras versus the rational heretic. Now, before he was a theorem, Pythagoras was the hot cult leader of ancient Greece. His bros, the Pythagoreans, Pythagoreans, weren't just doing math. They were living it. They were worshiping it, wearing matching robes and chanting about triangles underneath the stars, right? Fun facts about the group, just for your own edification. They weren't allowed to eat meat. They couldn't eat beans. They couldn't touch fire with iron. You know, all of the obvious stuff that one must do when they join a mathematical cult. Numbers, obviously, were sacred. Each had mystical properties. Even numbers were female, odd numbers were male, but most importantly, all of the numbers were rational because the cosmos was ordered. It was predictable. It was divine. There was a plan. So then here comes Hippasus. He's sharp. He's bright. He's deep into the cult. He's probably wearing the robe, doing the chants and swearing the secrecy. And then one day he's working with a pentagram. Yes, that symbol, you know it. We're already getting spicy. And he realizes while working on it that something is off. He finds the diagonal of a square versus the side. It should be a simple ratio, right? But it's not. It's the square root of 2, and the square root of 2 is irrational, as in it can't be expressed as a fraction of whole numbers. So, what does Hippasus do with this world-shattering mathematical heresy? He just casually shares it with the public, with non-cult members, you know, with whoever really will listen to him in the courtyard. No big deal. The cult, they freak out because he didn't just challenge the math, he challenged literally their entire spiritual cosmology. The numbers were supposed to be perfect, rational, holy, but this one was chaos with a decimal point. So here's where things go full murder mystery, because it doesn't end there, because not like that isn't weird enough. But legend says that the Pythagoreans took him on a little boat trip, you know, for brotherhood, bonding, maybe some geometry by the moonlight, a little bit of wine, and somehow Hippasus ends up floating face down in the sea. Whoopsie daisy. Other rumors say that he was exiled or erased from their records, not murdered, but the juiciest version is that they straight up killed him to keep the irrational number truths buried. Some say Pythagoras gave the order himself. Others say he turned a blind eye to the whole thing and just kind of let itself play out. Either way, Hippasus, dead, square root of 2, very, very much alive. So here's what's wild. Irrational numbers are everywhere now. The square root of 2, there's pi, Euler's number, the very things Pythagoras tried to suppress became essentially the bedrock of modern math. The scandalous little diagonal, that is now a part of architecture, physics, even music theory. The cult, it's gone. Their secrets, somewhat dust. But Hippasus's heresy, that little irrational number still rules quietly from every right triangle. So, the next time somebody tells you math is boring, and it very well could be me, remind them a guy once got killed for discovering the wrong number. Not for cheating, not for lying, for just being really good at math, which is really, really weird. This has been a Culture Shock Minis, the only podcast where your high school geometry trauma meets ancient secret societies on Occasional Wednesday. Don't forget to rate, review, and tune in for more. Bye.